This is the story of Holy Thursday, also known as Maundy Thursday. Jesus knew, even before he came to the city of Jerusalem on Palm Sunday, that he would be crucified, put to death by the end of the week. And because he knew this, Jesus wanted to make sure to have a very special meal with his disciples, to celebrate Passover, and to spend time with them while he was still on earth. On Thursday of Holy Week, also known as Maundy Thursday, Jesus shared a special meal with his disciples, now called the Last Supper. Before the meal began, Jesus got up from the table where all his disciples were sitting, took off his robe, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. Then he began to wash his disciples' feet. One of the disciples, Simon Peter, said to Jesus, "Lord, you're going to wash my feet?" He couldn't believe that the Son of God would do something so humbling. But Jesus said, "Unless I wash you, you won't belong to me." So he continued to wash and dry the feet of all of his disciples. And by performing this humble act of service, Jesus demonstrated by example how believers should love one another unconditionally. After Jesus washed his disciples' feet, the Passover meal continued. While they were eating, Jesus took bread and blessed it. He broke the bread, gave it to his disciples, and said, "Take this and eat it. This is my body." Then he took a cup and spoke a prayer of thanksgiving. He gave it to them and said, "Drink from it, all of you. This is my blood, the blood of promise. It is poured out for many people so that sins are forgiven." This Passover meal is where communion comes from, so that all believers will continually remember Jesus' sacrifice by sharing the elements of bread and wine. Later that night, after the Passover meal, Jesus and his disciples went to the Garden of Gethsemane. As Jesus prayed to God about what he knew would happen the next day, he asked his disciples to stay awake and also pray for him. Jesus was sad to know his time on earth was coming to an end, but even though he was sad, he ended his time of prayer by saying this to God: "Lord, let your will be done rather than mine." He knew God had a greater plan for his life. After his time praying, Jesus told his disciples, "The evil religious rulers that don't like me are coming to take me away and put me on trial for all that I have done in my life. They think I'm evil. They think I'm a fake. But you know the truth. And even knowing the truth, you all will still desert me, pretending you don't know me. Peter, you will be asked 3 different times if you know me. And all 3 of those times, you'll say no. Judas, you'll be the one to lead the religious leaders to me, handing me over to them." And just as Jesus had said this, a large crowd of people came to take Jesus away. Judas came and kissed Jesus on the cheek. This was the sign to the guards that Jesus was the one to be arrested. They came and arrested Jesus, and all of Jesus' followers ran away, just as he said they would.